Hi guys, welcome to KP classes. I hope you have done well in the CLAT 2025 examination. Now we are going to discuss your PYQs. In today's class, I'll be talking about the question set that you have got in the quantitative aptitude section. But before going ahead, before talking about all that thing, I am very proud to share my experience with the students this year that we are able to predict the pattern of the examination, because each and every year we are getting the same kind of question in this in these courses, in this CLAT examination. Either I talk about the quantitative aptitude or I'm going to talk about the other section in this examination, we were exactly able to predict the kind of question that the students were able to get in the examination. So the thing is that, because this is not something, I'm not an astrologer, but why we are able to predict that? Because we have been doing this since a very long time. There is a pattern. You will find a type that what kind of questions are there in this examination. And till the end, even in the last marathon class, even in the first marathon class, what we have discussed, I only told you guys that you only need to focus on percentage, ratios, and averages. You don't need to go into probability, PNC, and all of that, right? And this is what exactly has reflected in your exam paper. Majority of the questions are completely an outcome of percentage. So that is why we have given so much emphasis, we have given so much importance to this section of percentage, ratios, and averages. And the kind of question that we got in the examination, I'll be having a brief discussion on the same. But before that, people who have done well in this examination, this is a message to them that congratulations for all of you for your journey of law school. But those who are struggling, who are confused, that are they will be able to clear the exam, or they will be not able to clear the exam. But now this is the case where either you have gone through the examination or you have failed the examination. It does not matter. This law school will not define your legal career, right? You will find the great advocates who are not from NLUs. You will find that there are many judges who are practicing in the Supreme Court who are not from NLUs. So this is not the end result, right? But yes, that is correct that NLUs impart the best and best legal knowledge in you. So that is the best option. So congratulations for all those who have scored very well in this examination. Now we will be waiting for the answer keys. But this is a reminder to all those who are not able to score well in this examination. Still there is a time. There are other examination you can focus on which are equivalent to NLUs. But again, let's start this discussion on the quantitative techniques part. Now this question number 1 is, again we have done the percentage in a very detailed, in a very crisp, in a very descriptive manner, right? Where we have done question which were based on salary, which were based on income, which were based on population, which were based on increase or decrease, which were based on increase percentage and decrease percentage, error percentage. All of that we have done in our course. Right, now in today's class, I'll be talking about this question number 1 which was asked in the examination. It says, Mr. Das is working in a construction company. He has a family including his wife and a daughter. His total monthly income includes a salary of 9,228 and a 10% rent allowance is also there. That means his basic salary is given, that is 9,228, and along with that he gets 10% of rent allowance on his salary, right? So we will be talking about it. Now you know that the salary of per month is given 9,228, right? This salary. Though the calculation is not that you can simplify it or you can use the approximation, because the kind of options we have got, they can create confusion in your mind, right? So this calculation could have taken more time, but if you are very efficient in this part, this does not include much practical knowledge. It only takes time in the calculation. So if I am going to talk about the total monthly salary of a man is given 9,228 and he gets 10% of rent allowance. So 10% of this will be what? 10% of this is going to be 922.8. I hope you get that, right? 10% is nothing but 1 by 10. So this is going to be what? This is going to be his total monthly income. If you are going to add this, you are going to get what? You are going to get the total monthly income of the person. So if you add that, you will be getting it, that is equal to 110,150.8 rupees, right? So this is the first part that you could have done very easily, which is talking about what, that the monthly income of a person is given 9,228 and 10% of rent allowance he is getting additional to this salary, and then after that how he is spending this money is given in the very second part. It says due to increasing inflation, he is keeping a home budget that accounts for the income and expenses of the household. Out of his total monthly income, he spends 25% on food. Now you can write it. Now where this money is going all along? This money is going towards certain expenses. This 25% is going on food, 18% is going on house rent, 9% is on entertainment, 23% of education, 13% of medical expenses, and he saves 12% of his monthly income. At least we have done 100 such questions, right? Before your examination, we have done at least 100 questions of this similar type, which were based on salary. So I hope all of you have done it very well. There is no confusion. This was a very easy set that was asked in the examination. It says if the expenditure on the food and entertainment is increased by 10%. Now what is the expenditure there on the food? Now you know that you are spending 25% on food, and then after that you are spending what percent on entertainment? You are spending 9% of amount on the entertainment. Now what is this total percentage you are spending on these two? If you are going to add this, what will be getting? 5 and 9, 4. That means you are spending total salary ka you are spending 34% on food and on entertainment, right? I hope you get that. So now if I am spending 25% of my money, that is 10,150 towards food, and remaining 9% is I am spending towards entertainment, so that makes my total, that is equal to 34%. Now it says if I am going to increase my this entertainment, this cost by 10%. Now if 10% is going to be 1 by 10, that means I am going to increase it by 10%. So this increase is going to be 3.4%, right? Now what is given in the other part? It says what will be the new percentage of saving in the same monthly salary. Now monthly salary remains same, but my expenditure increased. So my expenditure increased by 3.4%. I hope you get that. If my expenditure is increased by 3.4%, my salary will reduce in the same percentage. So if my initial saving, I'm talking about saving, not salary. So my initial saving is going to be 12%. So it will be decreased by 3.4% because my expenditure increased, my salary will decrease by 3.4%. So once you subtract that, you can very easily get the correct answer. That is going to be 8.6%. There is no confusion about that, and that does not involve much calculation in this part. So this is about the question number 1. Now the second one says how much total money has spent on food and entertainment together. Now these are the type of question we have done so many times, and even in the previous years you can find questions like these very much, right? At least 3 or 4 questions are there which are solely based on income. So it says how much total money has spent on food and entertainment together. Now you know that what money is going on food. It is given here. Food we are spending 25%, and on entertainment we are spending what? On entertainment we are spending 9%. So that means if my total salary is going to be 10,150.8, I am spending 34% of the same towards these things, right? Now the only difference in this paper from the previous year, there we could have used the approximation. There we could have got the answer without going into the depth calculation. But here we cannot do that because here the options are very close. 3541, then 3461 and 3371. So now in this case, once you are going to solve this 10,150.8 ka 34%, you will be getting the answer in this part. So in this case, if you are going to solve it, you are going to get 33, here it is, we are getting 3541, 3461 and 3371. Though you can also use the approximation in this case, you will be getting 3451. This you will be getting 3451.8 something, right? This will be closer to 3451, not 0.8, 0.2, right? This will be 3451.2. Once you simplify that, you will be getting the answer. 4 multiplied by 8 will be giving 32. So 2 will be in the last number if you know the number system. So this is what? This is going to be the answer, 3451. There is no such option given. So here none of the above will be the correct one. Now the same way we can talk about the third one. It says how much money does Mr. Das pay as a house rent. Now what money is going on house rent? House rent he is paying 18%. So again we can calculate the 18% of the given amount. What will be the 18% of this 10,150.8 ka? We will be calculating 18%. Now this is what? This is 10th class mathematics. Only calculation involved there. Only the calculation part is there, or else this calculation is what? Is something which is very easy. So now once you are going to solve it, you will be getting 1827.144. So approximation will be giving your answer, that is around what? 1827 is going to be the correct answer. So this is what? This only involves calculation, and that calculation is not even going to take much time. I hope this is clear to all of you. This is about question number 111. And then 112 is given. Although it is not clear, if Mr. Das gets 12% of annual interest rate on the saving, right? And he wants to save 30,000 rupees in the 2 years of time, how much extra money should he save this year? Like in the entire year, what money he extra need to save on the same? Now this is again very simple. Now you know that the total salary we have already calculated in the last class, that was equal to what? That is equal to 10,150.8 rupees. And then after that, now it is talking about, suppose if saving is of what? He is saving what percentage of money? Now here it is given. He is saving what percentage? Somewhere here it was given. Out of total monthly income, food expenditure is given, house rent is given, entertainment is given, 24% of child is medical. So he is saving 12%, and this is given in the question itself, that Mr. Das is saving 12% of the total interest, right? He is saving, he is getting 12% annual interest on the saving. Along with that, you know, if he is want to save 30,000 in 2 years, how much extra he need to save? So the answer in this case is going to be, there is no need to save extra money. And why this is answer? Because the salary is already there, 10,150.8, right? And every month he is getting what? He is saving 12% of this salary. So if you are going to calculate that, this will be around somewhere 30,000, and again you are getting 12% interest rate on the saving. So that will what? That will be amount which is more than 30,000. So there is no need to save any extra money on the same. So again, this was very easy to understand. These questions are again based on what? They are again based on your salary structure. Then after that, question number 13 and 14 are there. I hope these are the last one. Then the second set will be understanding. Now this is talking about which of the following the budget of Mr. Das. Which of the following is true regarding the budget of Mr. Das? Now we have already discussed question like these, that whenever even if you are thinking that paisa is tough, now this needs no calculation. Now it says the total amount spent on house rent, entertainment and education is greater than total amount spent on food expenses, medical expenses and savings. Now this is what I am saying, 4 is bigger or 5 is bigger? Answer is 5. If I am saying 5 is more than 6, so this is wrong. If I am saying 6 is more than 5, this is correct. So these are that level simple question that you got in the exam. Like nobody can afford losing marks on the same. Here it says total amount spent on house rent, entertainment and education is greater than total amount spent on food expenses, medical expenses and saving. You can simply put these values and you can get the answer, that house rent, this percentage is going, entertainment, this percentage, education, this percentage, and you can make the comparison. So in this question number 113, the correct answer is option C, right? You can check that. Total amount spent on saving, medical expenses and education, that is less than the total amount spent on the house rent, food expenses and entertainment. And likewise you can check for B and A, you will find them, these are incorrect ones. So only correct option in this case is going to be option C. Similarly, we can get the answer in the last one. How much money remains for the other expenses after house rent and saving? Now we have already done that. What money you are spending towards house rent, and then after that on saving. We will be calculating that house rent and saving. Now let me just find it out. House rent and saving. The money that is going on house rent is going to be 18%, and then after that house rent, and another thing was what? Another thing is savings, 12%, right? So 12%, and then after that the one more thing, house rent is going to be 18%. So 18% and 12% will make it 30%, right? So if the 30% of income you are not counting, it says what? how much money remains after making expenditure on house rent and savings. So on house rent and savings we are removing 30%. So we need to calculate what? We need to calculate 70% of what? Now if the total salary is 100%, just try to understand. If total salary is 100%, you have already spent 30%, now. So what is remaining salary now? The remaining salary is going to be 70%, and that 70% of the total salary. Total salary is 10,150.8, and once you calculate that, you will be getting the answer in this case also 7106. So again, just to clarify, what I'm saying is you only need to calculate 70% of the total salary, that is 10,150.8, and once you simplify that, you'll be getting your answer, that is equal to 710605.56 will be there. And so if you are going to use the approximation, you'll be getting it, which is very close to 7106. So that will be the answer in this case. Now there is nothing to discuss. Like, this is something which we have already done so many times in the classes, right? In the revision class also we have done increase percentage, decrease percentage, error percentage, and all of that. If you guys remember, if you guys have been diligent in the class. Then after that, the second passage was also based on a percentage, and that is why I keep saying during the class that if you want to be efficient in the quantitative part, you only need to read percentage, ratios, and averages, right? And majority of the questions we are getting from the same. According to the estimate of the World Inequality Report 2022, in the India, men earn 82% of the labor income, whereas women earn 18% of it. Like, if the total, total labor income is going to be 100%, so men are making 82% of the same, whereas women are making the remaining 18% of the same. A women agriculture field labor make 80% per day lesser than male counterpart. And then after that, according to the Ministry of Agriculture data, this is for the data for the year 2021. And then after that, while a man is paid daily wages more than the cost of 2 kilograms of rice, this graph, the gap in their daily wages is more than the cost of 2 kilogram of rice. जो उनके डेली वेजेस का डिफरेंस है ना, जो गैप है, दैट इज मोर देन द कॉस्ट ऑफ 2 किलोग्राम ऑफ राइस. द गैप डिफर्स फ्रॉम स्टेट टू स्टेट. Field laborers data is given, agriculture field laborers data is given. So field laborers, for instance, make the most money in Kerala, while a man gets 789 per day, a woman is paid rupees 537, while this is the highest amount paid to. Now we have done question like this. If I am not mistaken, this type of question was asked in the year 2023, where you have got data on the LFPR, and then after that male were there, female were there, SC, ST, and then after that the people who are in the urban area, rural areas. So confusing data will be given. There is so much data, but you need to be very you need to be very diligent to understand that. So it says, assume that in the year 2022, the earning gap between the male and female self-employed workers was 2.5 times. In the year 2023, that is increased to 2.8 times. What is the percentage increase? Now, initially it was what? Initially it was 2.5 times. Now it is increased to 2.8 times. Now they are asking what is the increase percentage here? Percentage increase. Now this is something we have done in the very last class. Increase percentage, how will be calculating? This is 2.5 times, right? It is increased from 2.5 to 2.8. So the increase here is of what number? Increase here is of 0.3. That 0.3 increase is on what number? That is 2.5. So multiply by 100, you'll be getting the answer. Difference divided by initial into 100. That is how we calculate the increase or the decrease percentage. So here, once you simplify that, you'll be getting the answer 12%. Now data is given that is very complicated, right? The data that we are getting in the question is look like very complicated, but once you go through all the data, you'll be finding answer very easily, right? So this is the answer in the first case, and then after that the second one says which of the following statement is correct regarding this. It says the wages gap of Goa and Kerala state is less than Tamil Nadu. Now here wages gap. Now this question needs no calculation. This becomes like the passage based reasoning part. Here what we are getting? Here we are getting the wage gap of the Goa and Kerala state is less than the Tamil Nadu. And the second one says the wage gap and the Tamil Nadu is greater than the Jharkhand and Gujarat. Once you go through that passage, you will be finding that both these statements are correct. Both these statements are 100% correct. So that is how this passage has been also easy if you have gone through the complete information that was given. Now here it says, if the wages paid to men working in the agriculture sector in Goa are given like 335 on the average, what is the amount of wages to the paid to the women in the region? Now when the wages for agriculture sector in the men is given, and you know that it is also given, it is what more than that. So you can have simply solved it, because the wages for men is already given here. The working agriculture sector Goa are given already, the wages paid to men, and they are only asking about what wages amount have been paid to women in that region. So this would have been very easily you could have solved. Now here, once you are going to solve it, your answer will be nearby 208, right? Once you are going to solve it, your answer will be nearby 208. We will be waiting for the answer key, but because we cannot mark 204, 204 and 208, the distance, like, this is not a lighter difference which we can ignore, or we can consider it to be approximation. So 208 cannot be the answer, and which is not nowhere given in the option. So none of the above will be the answer in this case, as per my opinion. But this should not be there in the exam, because most of the students, they think that during the exam we don't know is it right or not, and there we are having only limited time. So there it can create confusion in your mind during the exam. Why it can do that? Because there you don't know, you must be thinking that maybe I have made some calculation mistake in this part, and you will be keep calculating the same thing again and again. So this is something which is very, it's like an injustice to the students, to be very honest. Though this is not the first time consortium is doing this. Now it says, with reference to the information in the question 115 above, which reason of the below mentioned state offers the least wages to the women workers in any sector? Now this is again based on your observation. Once you read the passage, you'll be easily getting the answer that Goa is that state which is offering the least wages, right? Lowest wages to the women workers in any sector. Now that data is completely given here already. It says men earn more than women all across all form of work. The gap greatest self-employed in the 220 male self-employed worker is 28.8 times that of women. In the, in contrast, male regular wages worker earn 24% is more than women in the casual areas. The gender gap earning. So all that data is given. Now here that data is given where you can find the answer. This gap differs from state to state. 789 per day, a woman is paid 537, while this is the highest amount paid to in the Kerala, right? Women laborers in the state, and 252 lesser than what her male counterpart was. So this is state-wise data is given. In Goa, 61%, right? Followed by and Kerala. Then after that, the wages gap is lowest in Jharkhand, Gujarat, but the women laborers get paid just 239 and 247 per day. So just by reading it, you can easily figure out the answer in this case also. So here it was asking about which region of the mentioned state offers the least wages to the women workers in any sector. So the answer in this case is going to be what? Answer in this case is going to be Goa, right? Now we have done how many questions? One is done, second one is done, third is done, fourth is done, right? Now these two are there, and this was the question paper in your exam. Now see, there is nothing new. This is a reminder to all those students who are preparing for CLAT 2026 that you don't need to, you can only go through the PYQs. That will be giving you an idea. Consortium is not thinking beyond. Though they have asked question on the analytical reasoning rather than on the critical reasoning, they have asked question from, and to be on the safer side, we already done that. They have asked the question from sitting arrangement. While we dealing with the logical reasoning part, I'll be having discussion on the same. But you just need to think about, you don't need to think beyond, you only need to focus on the PYQs. And this is the suggestion to all those who are preparing for CLAT 2026. Please do not miss your PYQs, because you'll be getting questions similar to this pattern. We are each and every year getting the same questions. In 2023, the average annual income, now average is there. Average annual income of female employed workers is 250. How much male workers earn on the averages? So here, in this case, the answer was that we were getting was 700, and in this 120, you'll be getting the answer that is equal to 296. You can easily solve these, right? This question is also easy. Again, we will be coming back with the detailed solution of all that, but I think we have done on our side, we have completed it, that what is the correct answer and what is the actual explanation of the same, right? And majority of the question, if you are going to solve it, you will be easily able to find it out that the majority of the questions are the application of percentage, ratios and averages. All the very best to those who are preparing for CLAT 2026 and watching this video, and those who just want to check on their number sheet that what are they are scoring, whatever marks they are scoring, you don't need to worry about it, right? Because whatever has happened now has happened. You cannot change that what has happened. What you can do now, This is something we can talk about. So once we are done with the analysis of the videos, we will be coming back with the videos where we'll be talking about what are the options that you guys are having, and then after that, what are the colleges you can target if you are scoring in this bracket. But this will be all clear once we get the answer key or something like that. So we wish you the best. Do not feel demotivated, right? Stay calm, stay happy. Thank you so much for watching this analysis video. I hope I was able to help you out.
KP Classes. Dedicated to excellence.